Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I have here a giant Indian spear and or prehistoric spear, maybe from the Stone Age. I'm not exactly sure. It's big, you can see just by this tape measure. We're looking at its pretty good size spear type tool here. The thing about this tool though is it's a two time period piece as far as I can tell. It originally was made as a spear, and then it may have came from a giant Indian, and it may have came from prehistoric before then. I mean, it's huge. It's got a lot of wear. I found this in a wash out in a subdivision in the Cave Creek, down way downstream from the Cave Creek area. It wasn't in the city of Cave Creek, and as far as I know, I don't even know if it was in the wash of Cave Creek. I don't know that wash, but it was downstream. It was a dry wash. Cave Creek normally runs, and what I'm trying to get at is it was made by somebody first as a spear. I can see that. This is very old, very old, very old, old. But then you get to this area right here. Hard to tell maybe with your eyes, but if you see, there's a discoloration here. It's a lighter color here, a darker color here. I do believe originally this is a new chipped away area. It most likely went more straight across, not angled like this. Could have looked more similar to this side, but more straight across, more or less like this on both sides, like this side. Probably had a little beveled edge to it. And the reason I say this, because I can see just from that discoloration that this has been modified. This has been removed. All of this has been modified. It's really hard to tell. They did a little in here, not as much because it's a little rounded anyways. But over here you can see they did more chipping away. They were rounding this so it wouldn't hurt somebody's hand. It was chipped away here, I do believe a little bit. And here's how I picture it being held. It was either held like that by a normal sized person, and this was probably made by a giant person, maybe a giant Indian. It could have been a souvenir that from the giant Indians, and they took it and they used it as their tool. They modified it so they could use it because it'll fit. I mean, it almost fits better right here in my hand, but I don't know how they used it, but you can see that they actually pecked this away. It's a different color. It's a lighter color. Plus, when they put their hands on there, the oil on their hands would help discolor it too. And the more they used it, the more it would soak into that rock, and the less it would rub off or wash off if it was in a wash. And that's what I found it in, a dry wash. Who knows how many years it sat in there. And the reason I say it's a pecking tool is because of the tip. The tip looks like it has been pecked away. It may have been a lot sharper. And also on the edges too, it may have been a lot sharper and they used it as some other tool other than just a spear. It could have been a knife, but because it's really blunt here and I can see it's been pecked, that they most likely used it as that tool. But I see it as maybe a two generation. It could have been in the giant Indian times, the red-headed Indians, because it was found close to the Four Corners. I mean, Cave Creek is closer to the Four Corners where they used to do a lot of their traveling. The Indians would migrate, and that's what it looks like to me. I mean, it's a really, really dull end, but you can see it had been sharpened. This actually had been sharpened, and it looks like they used it a lot because it maybe had been used for cutting, after they modified it and whatnot. But I mean, this is you can come to your own conclusion. But this part went in the end of a spear originally, in the end of some. A big long pole, wood branch, tree branch, and they tied it on. That's the reason for this shape. But then it was modified to fit somebody else's hand. So because it would have been too big for a normal Indian to use as a spear, so why not utilize it as another tool? And it's also got a bird eye This is a bird eye. So they made it into a bird too. Bird eye, you got the little nozzle, and that would have been the, of course, the beak. You got your bird eye. There's probably other animals on here, because I seen a little notch out here that may have been an eye, or they were doing something here. I mean, you know, since I wasn't there, but the biggest thing here is it kind of looks like a pterodactyl. I can't say that for sure. I wasn't there when it was made, but this is kind of looks like a pterodactyl, even though you can see it did have something sticking out here, and pterodactyls have that long part sticking out. So it could have been a pterodactyl made into what I mean, like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know. I'm speculating. I mean, because there it looked like another eyeball could have been there, or an eyeball there. They've made eyeballs all over stuff. You know, you turn it this way, I got an eyeball, and so on and so forth. You know, you can see that they did this to make it look like an animal too. All right. Well, thank you very much, and I hope I see you on. I hope you subscribe to my channel. I will try to put videos out constantly because I have so many rock artifacts. I'm into finding the giant Indians, and I do have proof. So look in the future of my videos, and I'll start showing you proof of giant Indians existed in the Tucson area, because I'm in the Tucson area right now. Actually, not in Tucson, in Cerrita, closer to the Mexican border, closer to where they found three giant Indian bones in a cave in Mexico. So I'm very close to there. They could have traveled down here. I'm very close to the Santa Cruz River. So please come back and see, and like and subscribe. Any questions you have, I will try to answer them for the best I can. I'm not a professional. I'm 100% self-taught on everything I've done. But, you know, get back to me with any questions. Thank you very much, and bye.